On Saturday and play. It'll be mostly the young guys playing in that game, and then we'll move on to the Bills. What questions you have?
Coach, is this a week where you start to split focus a little bit with the young guys competing and the veterans starting to think about the Bills?
Yes, exactly. It'll be kind of focused on both of those two things. We do want to go down there and play, and the guys are fighting for jobs and for opportunities, and also guys who will be playing, we know are going to make the team, will be playing in that game too, to get themselves ready for what's next and to gain experience. But then also we're practicing for the start of the regular season team.
John, no joint practice with the Commanders on Thursday. Can you tell us,
Thanks for the support.
Can you tell us what kind of went into that a little bit, and does that change the schedule, or how does it change it for you guys?
Well, it changes the schedule in the sense that we won't schedule around the joint practice. It just didn't work out timing-wise. I mean, they're playing Monday night. They're playing tonight. So it wasn't going to be the kind of practice possible that we really need this week for them. I mean, they're just on a short week. So to go all the way down there for what it would have had to have been just didn't make sense. We both tried. I mean, we both wanted to do it. I know DQ wanted to do it, and I wanted to do it. But it's got to work. It's got to be the best thing for your team. It just wouldn't have been the type of practice that would have been worth going down there for. So I would have loved to have practiced against them because they're so good, and they do such a good job. But the timing wasn't right.
John, if you would have seen the Browns named Joe Flacco their week 1 quarterback, just curious if you read thoughts or excitement or reaction to him probably coming to Baltimore week 2?
Yeah, just focuses on that aspect of it. I mean, we know we play in week 2, and we'll be preparing for them now. Just, you prepare for your first really 4 opponents, in terms of preparation for those games. So knowing that he'll be the starter is good. I'm sure that I think we had that idea already, probably, you could tell, but a lot of respect for Joe. Obviously, his homecoming back here will be a big story. We'll try to just focus on playing the best game we can. But we know Joe can sling it. We know what he's capable of doing. We also know what kind of team they are, how tough they are to play against. So it won't be the focus right away directly, but it'll be in the back of our minds.
John, turnovers are generally contagious, and when you start seeing them come, even in the preseason, does that feel like that's the momentum you want to build for the season?
It definitely is momentum we want to build for the season in terms of gaining turnovers. All the things that are impactful to winning are the things we want to gain momentum on. And there's a lot of those, and I thought the guys did a really good job of that in that last game down there in Dallas. We did a lot of the things that winning football teams do, in games. So I was happy to see it, and I want to keep building on all those things.
John, we haven't seen Jair Alexander in a while. Is everything okay with him and really some of the other guys, I guess, in the DB room as well?
Yeah, the DB room right now is dealing with nothing serious in terms of season issues or even for the opener. But he had something, just to kind of take care of that knee. You do some things that kind of help it from a health standpoint. It's something he's been dealing with for a few years now, so it's not anything we didn't expect probably. That might have been something to help, but you got to take a couple of days after you do that before you can practice. And same thing with D Hop. He's an older guy working on his knee a little bit, so things like that.
Each week's going to be a new experience for Tyler Luke. How did you feel about the latest test in front of him and how he stood up?
Yeah, I thought he passed it with flying colors. And even that can be better. He could have made that kick, the one that went left just over the upright, and the kickoff, came up a little short on the one. So he's trying. We're really working hard on the kickoffs. I mean, you saw them doing it too, trying to find ways to make it tough for the return team to field the ball. So we're working on that stuff right now too, and that'll probably be an ongoing experiment. Early in the season, I think you'll see some strange kicks probably, to try to make some things happen.
John, Tyler, when did you kind of come to the decision before the game? Was it kind of afterwards, just confirming it? What was sort of your
Tyler?
Yeah, just in terms of
pretty much when I stood up there when you were sitting there and asked the question, I pretty much that's when I decided. It seemed like the right thing to do. I think it makes sense. He's earned it, like we said, and he's ready. And have tremendous confidence in him, and just like all the guys. And he's going to go out there and play great.
You just talked about the DBs. There's been a lot of chat about Ruben Lowry, not as much about Keon Martin. We saw him the other night, of course. I don't know if you were asked about him in Dallas, but what has stood out to you over the course of the last 2 months or whatever to elevate him to where he is?
Yeah, Keon, first thing is I think his personality, man. It's this infectious personality. Always smiling. He's always energetic. He's always ready to roll. One of the very first days, because he was kind of a trial guy, and He's fighting for his life from the first day. He's had to fight for his life like a lot of guys do every day. And I saw him early in the morning. One morning, he kind of had this like look on his face, like he was tired and kind of like that, kind of grumpy. I'm like, why are you grumpy? I mean, you're in the National Football League. I mean, 3 days ago, where were you? Here you are. You'd be walking around here with a smile on your face and a bounce in your step, buddy. And he'd start laughing, and that's how he's been. I mean, he was that way. I think it was probably just early. I don't know. Maybe he hadn't had breakfast yet. But he's brought that kind of personality to the field. He really is. He's into it, and he's played well, and he's making a run at this thing.
John, talking to Randy after you, you've entrusted your kicking operation to him for a very long time now. I mean, if you have to sort of boil down why he's your guy, and obviously again with Tyler, what is it about Randy?
If I was going to boil it down, I would say there's a lot of things. I mean, he does a great job teaching those guys. He's a very good teacher, and he's been doing it for so long. He was a kicker himself. He was in camp with the Packers about 40 years ago. But I would say it boils down to me is he knows what he's doing. I mean, he knows what he's doing. He's a pro, and he knows what he's looking for. He knows how to teach it. He's the fundamentals that he teaches. He taught me the fundamentals of kicking way back, back in Philly in the early 2000s. I learned from him about the kicking technique. So I think it's very sound, and it's been proven. I mean, he's brought the best out in kickers here. All the kickers that have come through the system here, even when they didn't become the kicker here, they became the kicker somewhere else. It kind of shows you, I think, how good he is at what he does.
John, any update whatsoever on Emory Jones' situation?
Yeah, disappointing. He's not going to make it to the start of the regular season. I would say the doctor, the surgeon, best I can tell you is, he wants to be sure that it's fully right, and that's the way it should be. We respect that, and so it's going to take a little longer. So we won't be counting on him early on in the season.
John, is Adisa Isaac a IR candidate with the elbow?
Yeah, there was some ligament damage in there with the dislocated elbow. If it had been a dislocated elbow clean, it would have been about 3 weeks. Since it's not, it's going to have to undergo surgery. It's not a season ender though. Maybe midway in the season sometime he'll have a chance to come back.
Okay. Jalen Armour-Davis only played a few snaps.
Yeah, he's been sick. He's been dealing with some sickness stuff. So he had a mask on again today. So hopefully he can start feeling better.
John, do you know, I know it's still 3 weeks, but do you have a better sense now of Isaiah Likely, whether he's an option for week 1? Is he coming along in his rehab well?
You know what, I'll have to check on that. I don't have that option. Now, since it's week 1, I'm probably not going to share that,
okay,
as easily as some of these other ones, just because I want to keep them guessing a little bit on that one. But it's always going to be in that range first few weeks, so that one might be a little harder to pin down. Might be hard to pin me down on that one.
But we may find out when you guys release the roster, right? If he starts on IR or what?
You might get some. I would give you some info. If he was on IR, that'll give you some information. If he's not on IR, you're not going to know anymore.
All right. Thanks, Coach.